All right, class.
Yes.
Lesson 3.4 is on the lowest common multiple and greatest common factor. We're only going to talk about the lowest common multiple today. A multiple of a number. Okay? Multiple, what word do you think of when you see multiple? What is related to multiple? Multiply, yes, multiply. In other words, these are the number you're given is being multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. They're called multiples of 4 because if you start with 4 and you multiply it by 1, you get 8. 4, 2, 8, 3, 12, and so on. That's how you can remember what multiple means. Is multiply 1 times the number, then 2 times the number, then 3 times the number. Or simply count by that number. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and so on. Okay? Now, when you're given two numbers, you sometimes have to find the lowest common multiple. And so if you count by both numbers, you will find a common number that they both have in their list. 20, and if you count by tens, you get 10, 20. These are common in both lists, so they're called a common multiple. And they happen to be the lowest common multiple. So, to find the lowest common multiple, one of the methods is just to count by the numbers, make a list, and then identify the lowest common one and circle it. Okay? Now, sometimes you can find the lowest common multiple by multiplying the numbers together. That only works though if one of them is prime. Are these prime? No, they're not. They're not prime. Neither of them are prime. Okay? If one of them was prime, then you could multiply them and get the lowest common multiple. So that's one way to remember. You can always find a common multiple by multiplying them, but it won't necessarily be the lowest. Okay? So, I want to show you also an advanced method for finding a common multiple, or the lowest common multiple, I should say. Remember yesterday we talked about how to factor the numbers. You make a factor tree to get the prime factors. So the prime factors in 4 are 2 squared, right? Yeah. And the prime factor in 10, the prime factors in 10 are 2 and 5. Now, notice that there are 2's in both formulas. This one is 2 squared, this one is 2, and to find the lowest common multiple, you can use the greatest power of each of the factors that are in the numbers. So, the factors 2 and 5 are all the factors in both numbers, and if you use the 2 squared from the first number, because 2 squared is a higher power than just 2 to the first power. So we use 2 squared to find it, and we use 5 to find it. Okay? 2 squared times 5 is 20, and 20 is the lowest common multiple. Okay? Let's do a couple of examples. Let's do number 4 on page 96. Number 4. So we're given 15 and 25. Okay? What is it, Chris? So let's start with the simple method by counting by the numbers. So write down the multiples of 15 first. How do you find the multiples of a number? Tyler?
Multiply by going up.
Yeah, multiply it going up. 15 times 1 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. 15 times 3 is 45. Or if you think of it this way, 15 plus 15 plus 15, you get the same thing, right? 60, 75, those are the multiples of 15. Right? Remember, multiplication is just adding the same number over and over and over again. Okay? Or repeated addition, it's called. How about 25? 25 times 1. 25 times 2. 25 times 3. And notice what we found. This is the lowest multiple. Yes?
Are they going to give you examples where they don't go together? Or no?
What do you mean?
Like,
They don't move.
like let's say it's...
Where there is no common multiple?
Yeah.
There's always a common multiple. What you're thinking of, Daria, is if there's no common factors.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But there's always a common multiple because you can always multiply the two numbers together. Okay? That's okay. If you multiply the two numbers together, you'll always get a common multiple. It just might not be the lowest one. Okay? How about now, what if we use the advanced method? Let's just look at the advanced method quickly. Let's see if we get the same answer. Okay? So in this case, you write the numbers this way. It's really actually probably faster if you know what you're doing. Because you can just write 3 and 5. 5 and 5. Right? So this one is 5 squared. We use that one and we multiply that times 3 and get 75.
I thought you said it was the highest in each.
The highest one in each, right? So this one has a 5 in it, but this one has a 5 squared in it. So we use we use all of the factors, all of the types of factors. We use 3s and we use 5s, but we only use them, we only use the greatest power of each factor. Okay? That's how you use the advanced method. Let's try another one. How about number 6? Sometimes you'll be given 3 numbers. 8, 12, and 24. And sometimes you can look at the numbers and find them right away without even listing. Because 8 times 3 is 24, and 12 times 2 is 24, and 24 times 1 is 24. So 24 is the lowest common multiple. If the other two numbers go into the third number, then that has to be the lowest common multiple. Okay? So sometimes you can find it that way. Let's do one more. Let's do number... let's see. Let's do number 32. No, I'm sorry, not number 32. Oh, I know, number 20. Number 20, 4, 27, and 36. Now, I want you to choose a method that you want to use. Okay? And go ahead and work on that right now. Yes? It's given to you. So that's one of the numbers that's given in the problem. Okay? Now check your answer. And you can find this either way, by listing them or by factoring. Did you get 108? Count by the numbers. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. No, you only use the greatest power of each of the kind of factors. So there's 3s and there's 2s. That's it. But the 27 is 3 to the 3rd power, so we have to use that number. You only pick the ones that are the greatest power.
So if you took the same number, you don't pick one of them, right?
Correct. Yeah, only the one with the biggest power. And since they both have a 2 squared, I have to use 2 squared. Not both 2 squareds, only use them once. Okay, that's how you find lowest common multiples.